The Dyson Zone headphones have great sound, excellent noise cancelling, and this weird face visor helps filter out air pollutants so you can breathe easy. But are they worth $1,000? Here's what you should know. Dyson first showed off the Zone headphones last year, and to be honest, we didn't really know what to think. They're huge over-ear headphones with metal grills and a quirky removable face visor that sends purified air to your mouth and nose using microcompressors and filters inside the ear cups. It's certainly a first of its kind, and Dyson thinks it's onto something. The Zone is designed for urban use, for those of you walking or cycling through the world's megacities where breathing air pollution at ground level is a real problem. Then there's all the pollutants in the subway systems, which can actually be worse than at ground level. Dyson says its filter system captures 99% of airborne particle pollutants, including nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and airborne dust, which are especially problematic in cities. Now, I can't give a verdict on how well that actually works because, oddly enough, I don't have my own particle laboratory to test it. But I did go and see Dyson's labs, where it spent over 6 years testing and refining the zones using medical-grade mechanical lungs on mannequins in rooms full of pollutants to measure how many of those bad gases actually get inside those lungs. They also test how well it works on different shaped heads and how effective the system is in different wind conditions. So what is the visor actually like to wear? Well, it's weird but not uncomfortable. It snaps on magnetically and snaps off just as easily, and it sits just in front of your face, blowing a cool stream of purified air to your mouth and nose, which feels quite nice. It's powered by the smallest motors that Dyson has ever made, one in each ear cup. But it is a bit like having two hair dryers right next to your ear. The active noise cancelling in the headphones does help reduce that sound to an extent, but it is still noticeable, particularly if you're listening to more mellow music or podcasts. Now for me, I listen to a lot of metal, bands like Periphery and Tesseract. You definitely can drown out the sound of those motors with music like that, especially when you crank it up. But the bigger issue for me is just that I felt a bit silly wearing it out and about. I felt very conspicuous, and it certainly attracted a lot of odd looks. That said, I live in Edinburgh, a relatively clean city that isn't really the target for something like this. I may well feel differently if I was wearing them on the streets of a bigger city like New York or Beijing. But it is new, and typically anything new looks a bit strange at first. Face masks weren't common on Western streets until the pandemic hit, and now it is perfectly normal to see them on people's faces in shops. So maybe this type of technology is something we'll just get used to seeing. And Dyson does have a good track record of some of its more unusual products going mainstream. Its bladeless air purifying fans are now commonplace, and its fancy air wrap hairstyler is dominating beauty feeds on TikTok accounts the world over. The filters are easy to access beneath the metal grills of the ear cups, and Dyson says each set should last around a year. The Dyson app will tell you when they need replacing, while also giving information regarding air quality in your area. Pull the face mask off, and they just become a set of regular headphones, albeit quite big ones. Thanks to those motors in each ear cup, they weigh a little under 600 grams, which makes them extremely heavy. Significantly heavier, in fact, than Apple's AirPods Max, and we criticize these for being too heavy, and these are only 390 grams. So at almost 600, these are very, very heavy. But the ear cups are deeply cushioned, which does make them quite comfortable to wear for about 2 hours at a time. And the headband provides a secure enough fit, so despite the big weight, I never felt that they were in any danger of slipping off my head when I was walking outside. The active noise cancelling is excellent, with road noise kept to a minimum and general ambient hum in an office or cafe cut out almost entirely. They offer a great balanced sound as well, with 40mm drivers providing a meaty but controlled bass that doesn't overwhelm the other tones. As a result, higher frequencies from acoustic guitars or strings or vocals still sound crystal clear. As a fan of rock and metal and EDM, I really appreciate that solid bass. But the detail and clarity on the higher end will definitely suit those of you into acoustic and classical and folk music. Battery life just for audio is a generous 50 hours, but that will drop to about 1.5 to 4 hours depending on the air filtration you use. Now that should be enough to get you to the office on your morning commute, so you can then recharge them for your journey home. There's no question then that they perform extremely well as a set of headphones. But the fact remains that they are a hell of a lot of money, and a big chunk of that money is going on that air filtration system. So you'll really need to consider whether that is important enough to invest so much cash. If you commute daily through the heart of a big city, walking alongside busy roads of traffic or spending a long time down in subway systems, then the Dyson Zone could be a benefit to your long-term health. But if all you want is just a pair of good headphones, then you could save yourself a lot of money and look elsewhere. The Dyson Zone, with its quirky air filtration mask, may be an odd proposition right now, but whether they become commonplace on our city streets in the future remains to be seen. But what do you think of the Dyson Zone? Is it something that you're interested in, or do you just want to get some AirPods? Make sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and check out the video description for a lot more information.